What I'm going to do in this brief demonstration is use my Okta people page from my Okta dashboard to create an end user for my martindesks.com Okta organization. So from my dashboard here, to create an end user manually for my organization, what I'm going to do is select directory from the top here and then go down into people. Now, if you notice, if I go back to the dashboard, I could also do a shortcut here and add people right from the dashboard. So I can do it either way. So we'll select people here. Now this page will only display a max of 25 users at a time. Now, if I wanted to and I had more than 25 users, there'd be a more link here where I could click it to view more users in my organization. Now, when I add a new user to my organization, what this does is allows my user to have his or her own My Applications page where they can access applications through Okta. So to add an end user to my org here, what I'm going to do is simply click on Add Person here from my People page. And then from here, I just need to fill in the information for my user. So I'll go ahead and create a Tom Mitchell user here. And then what I'll do here is give my user a username, which is an email format. Now, this primary email doesn't have to match the username. In best practice, it probably should. Generally speaking, the username for a user in an organization would be the email that they use on a day-to-day basis. That being said, this can be any valid email address that the user has access to. But like I said, generally speaking, the primary email would typically match the username in a production environment. Now, if I wanted to add a secondary optional email address, I could do that here. Now, this secondary email address can be used as a backup in case the user loses access to their primary email. This is a lab environment, so I'm not worried about losing my primary email, so I'm going to leave this field blank here. Now, another optional setting here is the group setting. Now, you'll see here it's telling me I don't have any groups. What I could do here if I had some groups defined, and we'll do this later on when we do some other exercises. If I had some groups defined, I could assign my new user to that group or to different groups by adding the name of the group in a field. That would normally show here. And we'll get into groups later on, and I'll show you how that's done. Now, for password, we have a couple different options. We can have it set by user or set by the admin. Now, if set by user, what happens is the user is prompted to enter a password the first time they sign into Okta. The set by admin option allows the admin to provide a password for the end user. You can then prompt that user to change the password on first sign-in. Now, if I do this, obviously I have to give the user their password manually. I got to let them know, hey, I set your password to XYZ. Now, what you would typically do in a production environment is have this set by user. You don't want your admins running around with user passwords at any time. So we'll go ahead and click Set by User. Now, if we hover over the little question mark here next to Send User Activation Email, what this does is tells us that if we select this option, this new user is going to receive an activation email in their primary email address that we've set up. Essentially, this is the Welcome to Okta email. And again, you would typically send this email so the user knows that they've been added to Okta. So we'll go ahead and check this box to notify me that I've been added, and then we'll save. So now we can see here I have a pending user action. Now what I'm going to do off screen here is open my email, and what I'm going to do is bring up this welcome email. All right, let me drag this in, and I'm using just my webmail through GoDaddy for this for now. So we can see this is the welcome email, and I've got a welcome email that says, your company's using Okta to manage your applications, yada, yada, yada. And you can see this email is basically telling the end user that his company is now using Okta to manage applications, and that the system administrator has created an Okta user for you. And then it provides here a link that you can use to activate the Okta account. Gives me my login information. So what I'll do is I'll copy this. Now what I'll do here is I'll open this in an incognito window. And we can see my welcome here, and I'll just provide a password. And then we have to do our forgotten password question. And our security image. And so we can see now we're logged into Okta with the T. Mitchell account. And we got it here. And let me minimize this. Minimize the email. So now that we're back in here, we can see that the status for Tom Mitchell, my non-admin Tom Mitchell account here. I have two here because I signed up as admin at Martin Desks, but provided my actual name when I signed up for the tenant. So this is my non-admin account here. We can see that the status is still pending. Now, if I go ahead and refresh this screen, we'll see that my T. Mitchell account is now active. So that's how you add a user to your Okta organization manually through the people page in the Okta portal.